All right, my friends. So it's about 6:30 Sunday morning. I'm just getting up, having coffee. Wanted to give you an update on the dog attack. Um, Clearly, on the last video, I was still pretty shaken. So let me try to start and just tell you how it all went down. Gosh, it just happened so quick. I'm just walking down the road, and it was a total ambush. The dog didn't even bark. I heard a scurry to my right and behind me a little bit, and I turned to see what it was, and he's already on me. He was like 10 feet from me before he even growled. I mean, this is not a guard dog. This is a total attack vicious dog. Because a guard dog will bark to scare you away. This dog just wanted flesh and blood. So all I had time to do was just swing the stick with one hand. I had my right hand on the stick, and all I could do was just swing it back and forth like I was fencing, to keep the dog off. And this went on for, it seemed like eternity. I was just backing up, and the dog kept charging. And he kept trying to corner me over and push me toward this fence line where I had no more ground to give. And I got down in a rut in the road and I tripped a little bit. I had one hand on the ground, one hand on the stick, and at that point I'm just poking at the dog. And thank goodness at that time I hear this lady screaming. It's the dog's owner. And she's screaming at him, "No, Rocco, stop it. Oh my God." And that distracted the dog just long enough where I could stand up, get both hands on the stick, and tee off on him. And I connected right on his ear, and it buckled him, and he tucked his tail. And for the first time, he backed up, and I finally thought, I'm going to come out of this alive. And she tried to grab him by the collar, and he jerked away from her and came back again. Well, this time I was ready, and I teed off on his ear again, and that adjusted his attitude, and he tucked his tail, and he finally headed the other way. She grabbed him and put him away. So the whole thing probably lasted 3 minutes, but it seemed like 30 minutes. So you can imagine how exhausted I was. I was just terrified, furious, and exhausted all at the same time. And I kind of just dropped F bombs and went off on the owner a little bit, telling her how irresponsible it was not to leash a vicious dog like that. What are you doing owning a dog like that? And I just, in anger, just turned and walked away. Went back to my campsite, and that's when the adrenaline wore off, and I started hurting in my back. So I decided to take another walk, and that's when I made the video. But going back and looking at it, I was clearly still, you know, pretty shook up. You could hear it in my voice. And I didn't sleep good last night. I kept dreaming. This time it was two dogs, and I couldn't fend off two dogs. One caught me from one side, one from the other, so I kept waking up. So it was a pretty intense event. I didn't want to upplay it, and I didn't want to downplay it. So the first video was also, it was not a German Shepherd. I meant to say it was colored like a German Shepherd, but it was mostly Bulldog. And a pit bulldog mix is what it was. Probably about 60 pounds, big enough to kill somebody. If I would have been, let's say, a 10-year-old kid, I would be dead today. So, with that thought in mind, yesterday after it all went down, I got to thinking about it and I said, a dog like this cannot be amongst us. We cannot let a dog like this go. So, I said, a paper trail needs to be started on this dog. So I called the sheriff and talked to dispatch to tell him the situation. And she had a deputy call me, and the deputy called me, and her name was Russo, very, very polite deputy, and told her the situation. And she said, I'll ride out there. I said, well, don't bother now because I just saw the vehicle go the other way. So it looks like they may have packed up and left. So I gave them the vehicle description. It was a bright yellow Nissan Xterra is what the owner was driving. But the camper trailer's still up there. So the deputy is turning it over to animal control. They'll call me today or tomorrow And I said, really, all I want to do is a paper trail on this dog because it's going to end up killing somebody. And I don't want the owner to act like to be able to say this dog had never done this before. Clearly, the owner was too afraid of the dog to grab it while it was attacking me. She waited until I clocked it with a big hickory stick before she was able to even grab it. She was afraid of the dog. If you own a dog that you're afraid of, that should be your first alert that something's wrong, okay? I would never own a dog that I'm afraid of. You know, if I can't I've never had a dog I couldn't control. And this dog was totally in a rage, totally psycho, crazy, lunatic dog. And it just snapped so quick. And she acted like she was totally shocked that this had happened. And I kind of think she might have been shocked. Maybe it's never happened before. Well, now it has happened, and it will happen again. So hopefully animal control will go and properly document this today. I also want the owner's information just in case, I had to go to the chiropractor for my back. I'm going to get her to pay for it. So maybe that will all get taken care of today or tomorrow. I'm north of Flagstaff again. I'm kind of on the way to the Grand Canyon right now, and I was thinking about going up there on Monday or Tuesday to the Grand Canyon. I just don't want to go on the weekend because it's crowded on weekends. This coffee is looking at me. Let me have a sip. Oh, that's good. It's just what I need to get my brain functioning this morning. But I'll sleep good tonight because I didn't sleep good last night. I was just too wound up. And I guess my eyes are pretty swollen and watery. They feel it. I don't care. We're all friends here. You know me. That that's just part of things. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But I guess that kind of tells the story the way it went down. But that's it. So I hope that kind of clears some things up. But I'm so lucky to come out of that without actually getting teeth in my flesh. The only thing I got was a tiny little scrape on my wrist here from the rock going in and twisted my back, just because, I grabbed myself with my left hand when I went down to keep me, because if I'd have stayed on the ground, I'd been mauled to death. So that's it. Happy Sunday, I guess. I don't know. Take care, be well, smash the bell. Bye.